Hello everybody, today we're going to unbox, take a close-up look and test the ViNODO Dash Camera. So let's first take a look around the outside of the box. So this is a 1080p dash camera or in-car camera. Now let's go ahead and open up the box. And that reveals the dash camera. Let's go ahead and pop it out from the box along with the rest of the contents. So making sure on the underside that there's nothing there as we continue to remove the rest of the contents. So that's the entire contents of the box emptied. Let's go ahead and set it to the side. And of course, let me set the contents out neatly on the table so you can see what we've just unpacked or removed from the box packaging. So setting all the items up neatly right here. So okay, so that's the entire contents that we've just removed from the box, including the dash camera itself, of course. Let's go ahead and first take a look at this paper here, or leaflet. So as you can see, it is in Chinese. And then let's move on to the next item. So we're going to set that to the side, perhaps up there. And moving on to the next item, we do have another Chinese literature here for the ViNODO Dash Camera. I'm just showing you the reverse as well. So, okay, and moving on, there is what appears to be another version of the user manual or instruction manual, but this time it's in English. Now let's go ahead and spread it out or fold it out. I'm going to give you some close-up detail as to the operating instructions for the ViNODO Dash Camera. And of course there is a reverse side to this as well. Okay, so always read the instructions first before attempting to operate any kind of electronic device. So moving on to the next item, let's go on to this item here. So you can see that is a clear plastic container here, which has what appears to be a 32 gigabyte micro SD card. So nice to see that that's included. So you're good to go straight out of the box. And moving on to the next item, let's take a look at this. So there is what appears to be a mount or bracket to mount the dash camera onto. And of course it will go on your windscreen of your car so that you can record any forward video from your driver's or front position once mounted onto the windscreen of your car. So simple lever here that draws the air out and creates a vacuum seal for the suction cup at the front. Okay, so let's go ahead and release that, and you can see there is a ball head here that swivels around for you to optimize the position. Okay, so that's the mounting bracket or mount. Let's set it sideways. And moving on to the next item, there appears to be a USB charging cable. So this is a mini USB charging cable to, of course, charge up the rechargeable action, or actually dash camera. I was about to say action camera. Been dealing with too many action cameras recently. So there we go, set it down right there. And then of course moving on, next item here, which appears to be a power adapter for the lighter socket. So a lighter socket adapter with, of course, a mini USB connector at the end to keep the dash camera powered. Okay, just giving you various angles or looks. Alright, and perhaps this way as well, so you can see all the details of the cigarette lighter power adapter for the ViNODO Dash Camera. And then finally we do of course have the dash camera itself, so let me just do a bit of repositioning there, pop it out from its foam packaging there, and then of course remove it from this protective wrapper, and then voila, we're now looking at the ViNODO Dash Camera. You can see this has a nice rich sparkly blue to it. I think it's good to let others know that you're actually recording as well, or having an in-car dash recording device, so people or other drivers may be more conscious around you. Okay, so you can see it does have a very large LCD or display at the rear, and then top view down you can see the mounting bracket. So it's usually suspended this way with the mount above it, so that it does hang below the mount. Okay, and giving you a close-up look here to see the, hopefully we can get some focus. Of course it's a little bit tricky, but we should be able to, there we go, get some focus at the rear of the dash camera, and side view as well to show you the buttons. So of course you can see that there is a micro SD card slot there with the micro SD card supplied, a 32 gigabyte capacity one, and you can see that there is an LED light or flash mounted at the front of the dash camera, and of course more buttons to the side, and then returning to the rear of the dash camera. And on the bottom side and the top side, so you can see the top side does have quite a few connectors or slots or sockets. So there's an AV out, HDMI out, of course the mounting slot itself, and we do have a pinhole reset button there, recessed inside of course, and then a mini USB socket for powering or charging the dash camera. So size-wise, just placing it in the palm of my hands there, giving you some idea as to the size of the device or dash camera. So it's fairly wide, having a very large rear screen as well, and of course the labels that correspond to the buttons on the side. So I'll give you a side view right there so you can see what's what. Corresponding to each of the buttons on the side. And then on the opposite side we do have, of course, the power button and an OK button. And of course, once again, that micro SD card slot. Alright, now let's go ahead and turn it on perhaps by pressing on the power button right there. So hit that power button. Which should turn on the device. Okay, so it appears that the dash camera will need a bit of a charge. So I'm going to give it a charge and then return and turn it on. Okay, so I've now charged the ViNODO Dash Camera up. Now before we turn it on, let's go ahead and remove the protective lens film at the front. By, of course, peeling it off. Okay, and now let's do a bit of rejigging of the background. So I'm going to set the lighter adapter to the side, and now we can go ahead and turn on the dash camera by pressing on the side power button right there, and you can see that 2.7-inch LCD light up. So it has a very wide display, and it does have a 170-degree wide angle lens as well. So you can see everything pretty much on the tabletop right here. So I'm going to bring the ViNODO dash camera up closer so you can see the indicators and all-round look at the LCD. And I'm just going to wave my hand in front of it. So it's gone to sleep right there. Let's go ahead and turn it back on again by pressing on that power button on the side, and it boots straight up pretty much instantaneously. And I'm just going to show you as well what it looks like. So I do have in front of us, about 2 meters ahead of us, that horse figure that I normally use for camera perspective. Okay, so it's a couple of meters in front of us. I'm going to have to turn the dash camera back on again. It's just gone to sleep. And to give you some perspective of the wideness of the lens right there, pretty wide indeed. So I'm going to turn it back on right there. And of course there is no SD card inserted at the moment, although it does come with one. Okay, so giving you some idea as to the wideness or scope of the lens. Okay, so gonna turn it back on, and we're gonna navigate through the menus as well. So let's have a look by pressing on the menu button so you can see what options or features there are. So there is a resolution setting. Let's go ahead and go in there to show you what's what. And now it is low on battery, so it should be plugged in, but there we go. So nonetheless, let's turn it back on if we can and quickly look at the options very quickly. So loop recording, WDR, exposure, motion detection, record audio, G sensor, date stamp, parking monitor, LDWS, FCWS. So those are the options that are available in the ViNODO Dash Camera. So as you can see, a device like this should constantly be powered using the adapter. And over here it does zoom as well. As you can see, the lens or image zoom in, but I don't think that is definitely not a mechanical zoom, definitely optical zoom, so software zoom on the lens of the ViNODO Dash Camera. Okay, so now let's go ahead and test it outdoors.